Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So here's another deck profile update for you guys. This time it's on Salamangreats. So this deck actually has a new card in the main deck, being Parallel Exceed, which is an Eternity Code. Unfortunately, we didn't get Eternity Code yet. It's actually only available in Europe. But thankfully, my friend Omar actually hooked me up with a playset of Parallel Exceed from England. So I'm really happy that I got those. So I decided to go and put them in my deck, try it out, and honestly, that card is actually really strong, and I'll get to why in just a moment. So anyway, I figured I'd just show you guys the new changes that I made with this deck, and I really hope you guys will enjoy this. Okay, so starting off with the main deck, I'm going to be playing 3 copies of Salamangreat Foxy. So Aaron already knows what this does. On the normal summon, you could dig out the top 3 cards of your deck for a salad card, or you can use this card to out Floodgates by using his graveyard effect. It's one or the other per turn, so just bear that in mind. 2 Spinny, I actually might cut this down to 1, honestly, just because like Spinny's just nothing more than an extender at this point, and really doesn't add much to the table anymore. I mean, he's still good, don't get me wrong, especially if you want to trigger off cards like Gazelle, but again, it's kind of 50-50 on this one. So, but for now, I think 2 Spinny is just fine, honestly. Next, 2 copies of Jaguar, really good for his graveyard effect. He also does piercing damage, and it's just another good extender. Plus, he's a level 4 monster, so if you want to get into some rank 4 plays, well, there you go. For the one-ofs, of course, you got to run 1 Gazelle still. Gazelle's really good, definitely a good way to dump your salad cards to the grave, so that way you can recur them, because that's where this deck's really strong at. Well, where it's at its strongest, being able to recur so many good resources. So yeah, salad, it's still a tier 1 strategy. I definitely recommend it. 1 Foul, a lot of people have decided to cut this. I still think that's wrong. You should still at least run 1 copy. I was running him at 2 for a while, but now with, again, Parallel Exceed, I don't see the reason to run 2 anymore. I think 1 is perfectly fine. Another good extender, and plus he freezes back row, so Foul is still really good. And of course, the 1 copy of Falco. Falco is just good to recur your spells and traps that are in your grave, and also bounces back one of your salad monsters to your hand for a free special summon. So Falco, still not bad. Alright, so that's it for the salad monsters. Now moving on to the Cyberse engine. Starting off with 3 copies of Lady Debug. Searches out any Cyberse monster you want, whether it's normal or special summon. So it's really good, and plus you can easily link this card off for bailing. So Lady Debug, honestly, now I'm really happy that it's back at 3. So yeah. Next, 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. So I completely cut Flame Buffalo now for this card because, again, this card is absurdly good. And honestly, I don't think you need Flame Buffalo that much anymore. So I think Parallel Exceed is definitely a better replacement. So here's how this card works. If this card is special summoned by the effect of itself, its level becomes 4, and its original attack and defense become half. Then that's perfectly fine, honestly. And you can only use each of the following effects of Parallel Exceed once per turn. So keep in mind, this is the following effects after this. So the part where it becomes a level 4 is not once per turn, but everything else is. If you link summon, you can special summon this card from your hand to a zone that a link monster points to. Again, Baylinks. You special summon this card for free, and if this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon 1 other copy of Parallel Exceed, so that monster will become a level 4 as well. So you get 2 free level 4 monsters, and you can easily go to Abyss Roller right off the bat. So this card is what's going to make Salad a lot more annoying and more difficult to deal with now because, again, we have Parallel Exceed as a thing. So definitely look out for this card. And honestly, I really love what it can really do. And Salad and Shadows are definitely my top 2 main decks right now, so yeah, I might start seeing me play Salad a lot more. Alright, last up is going to be 1 copy of Prohibit Snake. It's a good way to out cards like Il Shadal Winda, but generally it's just a Neospatian Gratimal for Cyberse monsters. It's searchable through Lady Debug and Silent Mining, so definitely a good way just to, just to clear some boards, really. So Prohibit Snake, definitely something to look into. I might bump this up to 2, because like I said, I want to bump Spinny down to 1, depending on how well it receives. So yeah, Prohibit Snake, still something to look into. So that's it for the Cyberse engine. Now moving on to the hand traps. Hand traps, 3 Ash, that's pretty standard. It's a fire deck and it's recurable. 3 impermanents and 2 copies of DD Crow. If you don't have impermanents, you can always run Effect Veiler. I got these before they got too expensive again, so honestly, I try to get your copies as soon as possible. I mean, it's not really short printed in Dual Overload if they're still available in stores, so yeah, definitely test your luck or just buy them as singles. It's really up to you guys. Alright, now moving on to spells. 3 copies of Silent Mining. I have the original Secret Rares, which I'm happy with, but it's definitely been reprinted in dual overload, much cheaper than it was before, so the deck is even more budget than it originally was anyway, so I definitely would recommend sign in mining still, so try to get your copies in whatever rarity you want. 3-wheel the Salamangreat, definitely good for recursion. It's just Soul Charge and Monster Repo for salads. 2 Potted Desires, you know, for the draw power. The 1-ofs, 1 Sanctuary, it's searchable through Baylinks. 1 Salamangreat Circle. And for traps, I'm running 2 Roar, 2 Rage, and the 1 Imperial Order. Imperial Order is still really good in this deck, surprisingly, because this deck's not overly reliant on its spells, so you definitely can pull this off like early on, especially if you already have your board set up. I really don't think Imperial Order is going to do much to you, so I promise you that. Alright, so now moving on to the extra deck. Extra deck's pretty standard. I'm playing 3 copies of Salamangreat Baylinks. You know, you still want to run this at 3. 3 Sunlight Wolf. By now, everyone already knows what this does, so I'm not going to go into details. Same thing with Heat Leo. I'm only running that at 2. I'm running Nightmare Phoenix. Just to deal with spells and traps. 1 Hita, which I could always replace back with Lingaribo, but I still like Hita for the mirror match, so that's my only reason why I'm still running it. I'm running Update Jammer with Transcode Talker now. These 2 cards come and go. Sometimes I was running Pyro Phoenix, but I decided to cut them and run this better just because, you know, for OTK reasons. And of course the 1 Avermax. Avermax is still my go-to Link 4 monster. Fairly difficult to get rid of, so yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with Avermax. If you don't like Avermax, you can always go Appaloosa, you can always go Boral Sword Dragon, whatever you want. And for my rank 4s, I'm running Bagooska and Abyss Dweller. So yeah, that definitely can't say much more than that. Alright, so for the side deck, it's a little different this time around. Running 3 copies of Nibiru though, only because, like, you know, you definitely will deal with some combo heavy strategies from time to time. So Nibiru will still come in handy. Honestly, I might put this in the main deck, Phantasmate, just because, you know, if, again, more people might play Salad now that Parallel Exceed is a thing. So I can actually see Phantasmate being a main deck staple again, especially with Orcus too. Orcus is going to be like really strong once people start getting their copies of Girasu. So yeah, Phantasmate, something to look into, you know. This one's kind of a theory, but I'm going to go ahead and try running it. Deck Lockdown. So the theory behind this, and in fact I've done this with Shaddoll's before too. So the idea is to, like, you want to prevent your opponent from gaining any advantage from the deck, so by special summoning directly from the deck, or adding cards from their deck to their hand except by drawing them. And with Salamangreat, you know, like, yeah, you do some of that, but if you do that early on and get your board set up and play this afterwards, you should be okay. Like, your opponent's going to have a hard time dealing with your board, especially, like, if he's not going to be able to get much advantage at all. So, again, it's still just theory. I haven't really tested this card out enough, so I'm still going to try out the results. If not, I'll change it to something else and just go from there. But I'll let you guys decide on whether or not this is good or not. 3 Cosmic Cyclone, you know, for back row strategies. Same thing with Evenly Matched. I mean, well, what else is there really? Alright, well, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys again next time.